Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Nicology13. I got a haircut and today we're going to go ahead and review the Attitude Era WWE Intercontinental Championship, which is of course right here. Stay tuned and let's go ahead and review this belt. So with this belt here, of course, this is WWE's Replica Intercontinental Championship. This belt was prominently featured in the 90s and the 2000s, which I'll get into the description when we get closer to that time. So with this belt, the reason I put it in quotation marks, because to me, this isn't really the Attitude Era belt. It does have a similar design, but there is a difference between the Attitude Era belt and this belt, which to me is predominantly more so known as the Ruthless Aggression Era belt. But I digress. Let me first go ahead and read the description that's on WWE Shop, and then of course we'll go into the belt details regarding the strap and the plates, and then we'll give somewhat of a brief history, or I will give somewhat of a brief history regarding this belt here. So the description on WWE Shop is one of the most historic titles in the WWE. The Intercontinental Championship has been held by a plethora of the WWE's greatest superstars, including Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and more. Elevate your space with the prestige of this Attitude Era Intercontinental Championship replica title belt, designed to mirror the one worn by the many of the all-time greats that propelled sports entertainment throughout the 90s and 2000s. This bold belt is sure to stand out in any collection, which that I will have to agree with that last part. This belt does stand out. Again, just looking at the design here, it's a fantastic belt, and it just does elevate my collection. This is the first mid-card title I've ever held, and I'm glad I went ahead and bought the belt. So let's go ahead and do a deep dive on the details of the belt, and then we'll go ahead and explore the history of this actual design. I'll go more into the past design, but I'll definitely go ahead and give more details and why I think this is more established with the Ruthless Aggression Era than the Attitude Era. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here we have it, the WWE Attitude Era Intercontinental Championship in all of its glory. Just look at the belt. It's really beautiful here. So about the belt here, as you can see, the belt does have 5 plates, and of course has the fastened straps here. I know a lot of current TV championships has the Velcro, which I don't know why they did it, but I digress there. But let's go ahead and get into the details regarding the belt here. So overall, the belt does weigh 5.51 pounds. So it's not too heavy, but also not too light. I think this is probably the 3rd or 4th lightest belt I do own. I believe the lightest belt I own currently is the NXT Championship, which I will review that at a later time here. But first, let's go ahead and go with the straps here. The strap, of course, is 100% polyurethane, which is, of course, fake leather. I will say with this strap, this is one of the stiffest straps I do have. I did have to break into this belt just to make sure it's flexible and bendable. But again, the strap isn't too bad. WWE is getting better, I would say, when it comes to their straps. But again, I digress. The measurements for the straps are 51.5 by 8.63 by 0.25 inches, of course, being length, width, and depth. Again, one of the longest straps I do have. I think it's a little bit shorter compared to the Ruthless Aggression WWE Championships that I have. So again, I'll review that at a later time as well. So that is a strap. Again, fasteners, you have the male side and the female side. The male side is 2 by 8, and then of course the females are 2 by 5. So you have that. Now going into the plates, because that's the most important part of the belt, is of course the plates. As you can see here, the belt does have 5 plates. They have 2 first side plates, 2 second side plates, and of course the main plate. So the second side plates, which is the furthest on each side, on the far left and the far right, those measurements comes in at 3.5 inches. So again, rectangular shape there. And then of course you have the first side plates, which is the 2 closest to the main plate, which the measurements are 4.72 by 3.3 inches. So you have that. And also the main plate, which is Big Mama right there, that comes in at 11.44 by 7.5 inches. I will say each of the plates are 5mm plated, so they are pretty thick here. Not too thick. Again, you do have thicker plates out there, but as for this belt compared to the WWE United States Championship before the current model, that is still 2mm. So again, very, I want to say thick plates, but thick enough. And as you can see here, pretty thick, you know, pretty thick as you can see. And then again, just for the video, we can see a little curve on the main plate here. The one thing I do like about this belt and the plates is that the plates are not all identical. Each plate is different. So as other belts, especially with the Undisputed belt that I reviewed last time, all the side plates looked similar, except of course for the main small one, but great all together here. So we're gonna go ahead and start from right to left. So we're gonna go here to the second main plate, which you can see where it says Asia, Australia. And also with the plates here, you can see where like all of Australia is shown, and I would say the lower half of Asia. Again, not too detailed on the plates. I did try to compare this with an actual globe or an actual map, and some of the etching is not accurate at all, but what can you do? WWE does what WWE wants to do. As you can see here on the top, it says Asia. On the bottom, it says Australia to represent those continents. And then going to the left here, the first side plate, you see Europe and Africa. Sorry, I'm in the way there. I'm trying to get myself out of the glare of the belts, but that's not going so well here. And then you can see most of Europe, which I believe is actually all of Europe. I will say that that is at least accurate. And then of course you have the continent of Africa at the bottom. And besides the side plates, you do see that each side plate does have kind of that sunburst design going up and down from the center here. So you do see that on all the plates here. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the main plate because that's another portion. And then this is the first side plate, which says North America and South America. I will say this is by far the one that has the most discrepancy, because as you can see, you can barely see North America. I will say this is like Southern and Central North America, and then all of South America. Again, how they did the etching for the continents, they're not really accurate, and I've seen some discrepancies. I did see a discrepancy with the WWE Attitude Era Championship, or vice versa, the Attitude Era WWE Championship, where North America does not look right at all. And then we go ahead and go to the second side plate, which is Antarctica, and then on top you see the WWE Scratch logo, Scratch logo that they had. Of course, again, there's only 7 continents. You already had the 6th, and then of course the 7th, which is Antarctica. So now we go to the main plate here, which says WWE World Wrestling Entertainment Intercontinental Champion. Now I'm going to get more in depth when it comes to the history portion of the design here, because again, this to me isn't the Attitude Era Championship, is more so the Ruthless Aggression era, and I'll get into all of that during the history portion of this video. But if we start on top, you see 6 gems right there. Of course, a banner that says World Wrestling Entertainment. And then on the sides, going down, well, first let me go ahead back to the nameplate here. As you can see, it has a little oval design with 2 little indents on the top and the bottom. And then now we'll go here, I already described that. And then of course you have the sunburst designs on the side of the globe. And then you see the globe with an oval design with the scratch logo indented into the center of it. And then you see the banner on the bottom that says Intercontinental Champion. And then of course on the bottom you have the customizable side plates, which WWE does not sell, which is weird because I'm seeing that they're introducing a lot of their old titles that had the nameplates, but they don't sell nameplates. You gotta go through a third party. One website I do go to is Wrestling Superstore to get customizable nameplates. I do have one for my Undisputed Championship, which of course has my name, Nicholas. So on this one, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna go ahead and get a nameplate for this belt here. But overall, again, classic design. So we'll go ahead and get into the history portion of the video. And again, I will describe more in detail why, to me, this is not the Attitude Era. This is more so the Ruthless Aggression Era title. And then once we get that, then you'll probably know and understand why I have a little quirk regarding the Attitude Era portion of the title of the belt. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the detailed portion of the video regarding the straps and the plates. So before I get into a little bit of the history, just want to go ahead and give some current stats here while I get everything going. So first, again, this belt was established back on September 1st of 1979, the first Intercontinental Champion being Pat Patterson. So I'm gonna go again with some quick little blurbs here, just to give some sort of how prestige and how great at least this championship is regarding the lineage. So currently right now, as I said before, the first person that ever held the championship was Pat Patterson. Chris Jericho does hold the record for the most reigns, being 9, which The Miz is at 8. So I think The Miz has, The Miz has one more reign to tie with Chris Jericho. The longest reign in a singular reign is the Honky Tonk Man at 454 days. Gunther, I believe, is the one that's really behind him when it comes to the longest singular reign. And Gunther is, I believe, at 350 something days, so he's almost there, and I honestly think that he's going to be the one to beat the Honky Tonk Man's record. The shortest reign was Dean Douglas with 14 minutes. The oldest champion to win the belt was Ric Flair. At the time he won the belt, he was 56 years old. The youngest champion being Jeff Hardy when he won it at the age of 23. The heaviest champion, of course, was the Big Show at 441 pounds. And then the lightest champion was Rey Mysterio at 175 pounds. So again, just a little quick a little quick information regarding just, again, the belt's lineage. But as for the design and why I put the Attitude Era in quotes instead of it being what I think it is, which is I lost my thought. The Ruthless Aggression Era, wow, I can't believe I lost my thought, is because there was a different design for this belt. This design that WWE is selling is more so the Ruthless Aggression, because the main difference was between the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression is this part right here, which I kind of delved into a little bit during the details. The Attitude Era didn't have a nameplate. It didn't have a nameplate. All of WWE, when WWE purchased WCW, they did somewhat of a rehaul with their belts. If you notice, before WCW's purchase, none of WWE's belts had nameplates. Their signature belt, the WWE Championship, didn't have a nameplate. The Intercontinental didn't have a nameplate. Their tag team division didn't have a nameplate. Even their light heavyweight championship didn't have a nameplate. And I believe their women's didn't have a nameplate as well, if I serve right here. And that was through the Attitude Era. The Ruthless Aggression Era did start a little after the purchase of WCW. That's when the Attitude Era was phasing out and the Ruthless Aggression kind of took over. So with the Attitude Era belt, this design was very similar. Again, was very, very similar. But this swoosh right here where it says Intercontinental Champion, that only had the word Intercontinental, and then on the bottom where the nameplate is currently, that just said Champion. So this is what the Attitude Era looked like before the current design. So going back to the history a bit, this design belt was brought in when a lot of unifications did start during this time. WWE, again, was weird during this time. So you had, of course, your Intercontinental Champion, which was exclusive to Raw at the time because that's when the first brand split happened back in 2002. And again, a lot of unifications happened. First, during the Invasion storyline, or a little bit after, you had Test, who was the Intercontinental Champion, and you had the WCW United States Champion, Edge, and that was a unification match, which Edge won to become the Intercontinental Champion and also retire the WCW United States belt. So then, of course, you had all of that going. And then, again, during the 2002-2003 realm of things, again, a lot of unification happened. So the first unification was the Intercontinental Championship with the European Championship, which Rob Van Dam was the Intercontinental and Jeff Hardy was the European Champion. And then, of course, Jeff Hardy lost and Rob Van Dam kept his belt. And then that's when the European Championship was retired. And then the Hardcore Championship was retired when Van Dam, who was, again, the Intercontinental Champion, defeated Tommy Dreamer, who was the Hardcore Champion at the time. So, again, a lot of unification, and then this belt just wind up, well, not this design, but this belt just wind up being the prominent belt for Raw. Then something weird happened. Bischoff decided to unify the Intercontinental Championship with the World Heavyweight Championship when Kane was going for the World Heavyweight Championship, which was held by Triple H. So that, I believe Kane, if my memory serves me right, was the last champion to hold the Attitude Era design of this belt, where it didn't have a nameplate. Of course, Kane lost, Triple H won. So then that design of the belt retired, and then about somewhere early 2023, let me look that up. Oh, May 5th of 2023, then co-general manager of Raw, Stone Cold Steve Austin, revealed or reactivated this belt, which had the nameplate. And the first person to hold that belt with the nameplate was Christian. So from then till Cody Rhodes in 2011, this belt was the primary design of the Intercontinental Champion. And I will just say, like, during that time, this belt has been the highlight of Raw. Like, there were so many matches over this belt, so many good matches and so many good champions. Of course, you had Christian, who held this belt. Then you had Chris Jericho win it sometimes. Then you had, I believe Edge won it at one point. Randy Orton, to me, was the one who held this, who kind of, like, he didn't elevate the championship, but the championship did elevate him, because we all know that wound up just being the stepping stone of him going into the world championship picture. So again, this belt does mean, meant so much during that time, because 9 times out of 10, if you had this belt, you were either going to win the world championship, or you were somehow involved, or you're a contender for it. And again, a lot of great people have held this belt. And again, just going off the top of my head here, you had, again, Christian, Jeff Hardy, Chris Jericho, Johnny Nitro, who wound up becoming John Morrison. You've had Shelton Benjamin. So many other people I can't even think of right now. But as I stated earlier, this design was retired for Cody Rhodes, when Cody Rhodes debuted the white striped Intercontinental Championship, to make it that kind of resembled the classic Intercontinental Championship before the Attitude Era belt. Again, similar design was revealed. And then, of course, the white strap wind up being retired for the current WWE Intercontinental Championship, which I do like the design of it. I do wish there was more color, which kind of contradicts what I said during my Undisputed belt review, which I did like the black and gold. And that's what the current WWE Championship, or excuse me, the WWE Intercontinental Championship does have, is just black and gold. But again, because if it's a mid-card title, I do wish it had a little bit more color. Like if either the WWE symbol or the background of the symbol was blue, or just some of the black parts on the outside were blue. I do wish that they would have did something along that lines, but I digress. But again, this belt is just like, it was known as the stepping stone, or the workman's title, because again, if you've held this belt, you were literally like 9 times out of 10 going to be the world title, or you were contending for it. So just great history with this belt. But other than that, thank you for watching this video. It was so much fun to review this title. And again, I'm glad I was able to get this belt. Oh, before I go, currently right now on WWE Shop, this belt is God, sorry. The WWE belt is going for $399.99. So the belt is expensive. But again, I always tell people, if you want a WWE Replica belt, get it while it's on sale, which this is how I got mine. It was on sale for 3 days, and it was on sale for $279, or $279.99. So I saved $120. So again, just get it on sale. Just look at WWE titles every so often. It was such a weird sale because they didn't have a sale during WrestleMania, and then again, they had that weird little 3-day sale, and then now it went back full price. So I got it at a great time. But yeah, that's it for this review. If you like what you heard, please like the video. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.